Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some current latest transfer rumours and gossip. As we all know, it's not currently on now until the current transfer window opens in January, as we all currently know. So before I get into the news, I'm just going to tell you the results today. Chelsea have just beaten Watford by 2 goals to 1, so that means now Hazard has scored over 100 goals now for Chelsea. I think Chelsea have got 10 players that have scored like 100 goals or more, as we all know. Arsenal drew 1-1 with Brighton, as we all know. Manchester United won comfortably by 3 goals to 1. Liverpool won by 4 goals to 0, as we all know. Everton won away at Burnley, 5 goals to 1. Tottenham won at home to Bournemouth 4-0. I think Crystal Palace and Cardiff was 0-0. Fulham and Wolves was 1-1 as well, and I think that's all the games I've currently updated you with today. So I think potentially Manchester United is now sitting 8 points behind top 4, as we all currently know. How many points are we behind top now? Well, we was 19 points. Manchester United won. I think we're still 19 points behind Liverpool. I think, if I am correct. But anyway, let's get straight into the transfer rumours. Of course, so reportedly now Manchester United's targets. We've got a few potential targets for the January transfer window. Of course, reportedly Ed Woodward's back in Solskjaer in the January transfer window. Reportedly Man United are going to get around a £50 million spending spree, but according to the press reports that I've just read regarding Koulibaly, reportedly the bookies have actually favoured Manchester United to go on and sign Koulibaly in this upcoming January transfer window, because he's a player that was, he was one of our main priority targets. He was, on the top of the list, when Jose Mourinho was manager of Manchester United. But his performances have caught the eye of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, reportedly. But reportedly, the bookies have favoured Manchester United to go sign Koulibaly. But we know the player is rated at around £90 million. Ed Woodward has been in discussions, with the Napoli officials about getting a deal over the line. In the process, Manchester United have had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. I think we had a 77 one turned down. I think we had another one turned down, but I can't remember the fee. We had a £90 million bid, I think, turned down. I mean, we had a £95 million bid turned down. This is confirmed. A £95 million bid had been turned down before Jose Mourinho had been sacked from Manchester United. But he has been potentially one of our targets as Koulibaly, because he'd lead our defensive line very, very well. He's got a good pedigree in Europe as well as the player. He's under contract until 2023, as we all know, is Koulibaly. And potentially his performances for Napoli have been very, very good. He's been a full international since 2015. He's made 29 appearances for Senegal, as we all know. But he's strong, he's quick, his versatility is very, very good. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He adapts every area of his game very, very well, as we all currently know. We had obviously Jose Mourinho. The board weren't backing him, and he didn't get the main priority targets, Jose Mourinho, that he potentially wanted to get into the club. But Koulibaly would be absolutely fantastic for us defensively. He'd look good alongside, if you put him alongside Bailly, who's got great potential. If you put him alongside Lindelof. As I said, Lindelof's improved this season. He struggled in his first season, but this season he's improved. And, Lindelof's like 2 players in one, potentially when he's on form. And so is Bailly. But if you put, that extra, if you put Koulibaly there, Koulibaly, I think, would stand out very, very well. I think he'd do very, very well in the Premier League, would Koulibaly. Of course, he's an ex-Genk, he's an ex-Mets player. When he was young in his prime, he played in the Mets reserve team. And he's only 27 years of age, so he is highly experienced. Would get quite a lot of years out of him as well. And I think he'd do very, very well, especially he'd be playing amongst, he'd be coming to experience the Premier League. He'd be playing amongst different players, as we all currently know. And to me, I have no reservations about him. To me, he's got no weaknesses about his game whatsoever, and he's a highly rated top-class defender, is Koulibaly. But we do keep hearing about his name, that Manchester United have been linked to him, as we all know. But Napoli did confirm. I don't think they're willing to sell him off in January. But if Man United were to if Man United were willing to pay, what they rate him at and what they're demanding him at, Napoli, then potentially Man United may go in for him. But we know he's going to cost a fortune, as we all currently know, and he's going to, he will become one of the most expensive. He will be the most expensive defender in the world if we get him. But as I said, people are still saying we need a central defender, because we're, defensively we have been bad this season. We are conceding too many goals, as we all currently know. But I think Koulibaly would fit the Manchester United agenda fantastically well. If he come into a big, massive club, and he'd be playing amongst good players. And I think he would really, really enjoy it if he did come. Koulibaly, he's never had any experience of playing in the Premier League, as we all currently know, but I think he's strong, he's physically good on the ball, he's good at holding onto the ball, he's good at intercepting, and he's good when he comes against, he goes against top class strikers. He does put a challenge in, and he does well in that defensive line, because I've watched quite a lot of him, and he's a very, very good defender, indeed. And Napoli know how much of a central player he is, as we all know. But Man United have reportedly had 3 bids turned down in the process for their player. Reportedly, Man United have just been favoured by the bookies to go on and sign Koulibaly, but he's still under contract with Napoli till 2023. As we all currently know. So that's big breaking news to update you with. As we all know, Manchester United did win 3-1 against Huddersfield today. Great performance. Solskjaer is making a big impact at Manchester United. He's got the confidence back in the team. He's motivated the team, as we all know. Pogba, his performances in these 2 games have been absolutely phenomenal, as we all know. And he looks a lot, happier, under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's playing to his potential best. The whole team are playing to the potential best. As he did say, he's going to rotate the squad. He said he was going to pick his best lineup, but he said he's going to rotate the squad, give everybody the chance, give the youth the chance, as we all currently know, which is very, very good of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Potentially Fred, for me, he still needs to get more game time to get playing to his potential best. He was okay today, but it wasn't his best, but he did okay. But to play to his potential best, you need to give him more game time, which Solskjaer will do. Bailly's going to get more game time, as I said, even though he didn't start today. Juan Mata's going to get more game time from the start, as we all know. And yeah, so it's good to see. I think Pereira's going to get more game time under Solskjaer as well. And who's to say, if he does progress in these 6 months, who's to say he won't get the job, as we all know. I think he will. If we carry on playing very, very well and we're getting results and the performances are up, and, Solskjaer may get offered the job on a full-time basis, and they may give him the contract, because Solskjaer, from his own perspective, has admitted he'd like the job on a full-time basis. But you've got to say the performance today, Manchester United Huddersfield, you've got to say Pogba ran the show. He got 2 or 3 assists last game, scored 2 goals today, as well. And he's been phenomenal in these 2 games, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Paul Pogba. He's creative, got a lot of tenacity about his play, and he's like 2 players in one, when he's in midfield or when he's in a free role, a free attacking role. He's like 2 players in one. He's potentially on form, Paul Pogba. We know that he did make a couple of changes today. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Martial obviously was out of the squad today. Martial was out. Ashley Young didn't start, but he came on as a sub in the game. He brought Diego Doyle to start. Herrera didn't start, but he came on as a sub, as I said, so he gave Fred the opportunity. As I said, but it was overall a good performance. We created a lot of chances. Showed heart, showed passion, very precise on the ball. And, we are seeing that attacking football, that we do want to see at Manchester United, that attacking football, that attacking flair, that we are used to see under Alex Ferguson as well. And that's, the type of football I want to see, getting bodies into dangerous positions, getting fullbacks high up the pitch, which is very, very good to see, getting centre-halves, galloping up the pitch as well. And that's what we potentially want to see. We want to be a team that's feared by other teams, especially the top teams, and that's the right way, because we did used to be feared under the Alex Ferguson era, because there was that fear factor there. Every team did fear coming to Old Trafford at that moment in time, as we all currently know. But as we all know, I think Solskjaer have a lot of trustworthy in him. I think he's going to turn it around, as we all currently know. He likes it here. He says he's happy fulfilling the managerial role here. He'd like the job on a full-time basis, as he was saying. I heard a bit of his post-match interview, what he said about potentially, that we did start the game a bit slow. But potentially as soon as we got the goal, that's when we started playing. I think first half, I thought it was a really, really good performance from Manchester United. You can tell the difference in the team. This is a different, this seems a total different team, to when we had Jose Mourinho. It looks a different team. We are playing the United way. And, obviously the instructions Solskjaer has demanded to them players, them players have gone, with what Solskjaer has demanded, as we all currently know. And yeah, he has told the players to express themselves, as we all currently know, and they have exactly done that. 8 goals now in 2 games in the Premier League, which is very, very good. 2 goals obviously conceded, so we do probably still need to sort our defence out, to be quite fair. So And as I said, I thought Lingard were very, very good today. I think he went with 4-2-3-1 today. You know, Lingard was very, very good today. As I said, he were very, very good against Cardiff, though, as well. You know, he got 2 goals. He got 2 goals and an assist against Cardiff. You know, he got an assist today as well for one of Paul Pogba's goals. Did Jesse Lingard. So he's been getting involved in the mix quite lately, and he's really, really fast on the ball. He presses well high up the pitch. You know, you've got obviously Rashford that presses high. You know, he's fast on the ball. He's quick. His movement's absolutely fantastic, and he can create chances as well. And they are playing together well as a team now. They are gelling together, creating chances, causing problems for the opposition. This is what Solskjaer's plan was, to unleash the pace of the likes of Martial, Rashford, Lingard, and Pogba to the opposition's defence. As we all know. But we know Martial was rested today, as we all currently know. He didn't even come on today as a sub, so he did miss out today, as we all currently know. But it was a good performance. I thought Matic played well. You know, he got his name on the score sheet today. You know, Lindelof, I thought, put a good, decent, defensive performance out. He was the part to play in Matic's first goal, because obviously he got the header, the keeper saved it, and Matic had took the rebound in, and that was 1-0. Of course, you know, I thought when Mata was okay, wasn't the best. Obviously he was playing on the right hand side as well. Now sometimes you can put him in attacking midfield position. He hasn't been really starting from the start of this season, but I think he's still a very, very good, consistent, composed player. He's Juan Mata. You know, we paid 39, was it 40 million pounds for him from Chelsea back in 2014 under David Moyes. And obviously in the Premier League, you know, he's obviously now got 50 goals and 50 assists in the Premier League, I think, as Juan Mata. But he was part to play for the second goal. As I said, you know, Mata went past 2 Huddersfield defenders, got into the box. Herrera, I think it was Herrera that had deceived it, and Pogba had finished it off. And you know, there were 2 good goals from Herrera, and Lingard got the third. He got the third assist. You know, Pogba's got 2 goals were very, very good. You know, 2 right-footed strikes, and they were very, very good finishes. Both of them, as I currently said. But he's getting the best out of these players. Solskjaer's getting the best out of these players. As I said, the players are getting the best out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I said, and the mentality's back in the team. You know, you can tell that. You know, you look at the atmosphere now around Old Trafford. The mood has lifted in the Manchester United crowd. As we all currently know, which is very, very good to see. So positivity is back at Manchester United. And you know, praise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, basically, you know, now 2 games. He's won both of the games, and he's dramatically turned us around. As we all currently know, and got us playing the attacking football we want. He likes the width as well, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But it's good to see he's going to be rotating, giving everybody the chance, which is very, very good to see indeed. He's still got to think about contract renewals, because we have got a lot of players coming to end of their contracts, as we all currently know. You know, potentially thinking about his lineup every game, maybe getting some players in the January window. You know, we could still see players obviously leave Manchester United. Of course, we know Lukaku didn't feature in the game today because obviously he's on compassionate leave. Sanchez is out till January. Rojo's injured still. And Rojo's I think Rojo's a good backup option, you know, to be quite honest with you, because obviously Marcus Rojo, you know, potentially can play as a left wing back, you can play him as a full back, and you can play him as a central defender as well. You know, you've got Smalling, who's there. He's obviously got a contract with us till 2022, with a further option to add it till 2023, and he's been here since 2010. I think he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions for Manchester United since he's been here. This is his 9th season now with Manchester United, Chris Smalling's. So, you know, I thought potentially today as well, Phil Jones played very, very well. I thought he was very, very solid at the back today, Phil Jones as well. So, we know that he's injury prone. He's known for injuries. You know, we've had him since 2012, as we all know. But I think, you know, Phil Jones played very, very well today, as we all know. I thought the majority of the players, you know, put a very, very good shift in. You can see the vast improvement in the team. And, you know, obviously, that's down to management, and you know that's very, very good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got that ego. He wants the players to express themselves. As I said. And he potentially knows what he's doing at the club, does Solskjaer, because as I said, he knows the culture of the club, he knows the club inside out, as we all currently know, and he was a great, great player for 11 years, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from 1996 to 2007. He was very, very good under the Alex Ferguson era, as we all know, a great, great player, as we all know, and he won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde, you know, when he was at Molde, as we all currently know. And, you know, I'm glad, you know, obviously he wasn't so good at Cardiff as manager, as we all know, but he was a great, great player. So he's had a bit of managerial experience, but I'm glad Manchester United recommended him in to come into full the managerial role at Manchester United. As I said, and I like it. That's feelings alongside him. He just said he wants to be here to help. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I think he's liking it alongside Phelan and Michael Carrick and Kieran. He praised them all anywhere. What he said the other week, he praised all of them as well. He praised Paul Pogba, as we all currently know. Which is very, very good to see. So the confidence is back in the team. The attacking football is back in the team. The motivation's back in the team, as we all know. So that's very, very good to see. But Koulibaly would be a great player, as I currently said. But we do have other options at our back line as well. We don't desperately need to get any permanent deals in January. But reportedly, Manchester United have been interested in Koulibaly for quite a while now, and reportedly, the bookies have actually favoured Manchester United to get Koulibaly in this upcoming January transfer window, as I said. Other potential Manchester United target has been Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld. Koulibaly's on a different level to Toby Alderweireld, as we all currently know. Toby Alderweireld, as I said, been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham. Reportedly, he could cost in the excess of around £30-40 million. Reportedly, he's got a £25 million release clause for next summer, as Tovia Alderweireld. But reportedly, Man United were in discussions. Ed Woodward were in discussions with Danny Levy next summer over Manchester United potentially making a move for him. Tottenham still know how much of an essential player he is, as I said. And, they've still got other options at the back. They've got Davinson Sanchez, they've got Vertonghen, as we all know. But Tovia Alderweireld said Premier League proven. He has lost the pace a little bit. I do have reservations about him now. To be quite honest with you, Toby Alderweireld, he has lost the pace a little bit. I think he's a bit slow now, Toby Alderweireld. But as I said, under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if he was to come with United, I think he'd do very, very good indeed, Toby Alderweireld. But as I said, Tottenham were demanding on around £60 million last summer, so potentially Manchester United, were reluctant to pay up to that much for Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. But he has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all currently know. Obviously, he's been in the Premier League a good few years now as Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. But he can prove to be a world-class central defender because he can play as centre-back. He can also play as a full-back as well, can Toby Alderweireld. And he's been a full international since 2009.
There's a bottle of Budweiser downstairs.
All right.
It's on the windowsill.
Is it? All right. But yeah, as I said about Toby Alderweireld, I think he'd lead our line fantastically well, but you can't compare him to the likes of Koulibaly as a top-class central defender. Koulibaly is obviously much better than Toby Alderweireld, but obviously he's going to cost us a lot more money. He's Koulibaly, as we all know. But Toby Alderweireld's still a good player. He knows about the Premier League because he's Premier League proven, as we all know, and he plays amongst good players at Tottenham Hotspur, as we all know. So he's been another potential Manchester United target. The latest news coming out about Adi Matteo, Porto, young player. I think he's 20 years of age, as I currently said. I think he's 21 years of age, so he is still in his prime, as we all currently know. Reportedly, Manchester United have been interested. Reportedly, the player's got around a 44 million release clause, or something like that. So potentially Manchester United have been linked with him as well, Adi Matteo. He's been in the senior team quite a few years now as the player. I think he's under contract with Porto like 2022, 2023, but reportedly the player's got around a 44 million release clause or something like that. So reportedly Manchester United have been interested in him as well. So he's been another potential Manchester United target. We know reports that have been coming out that Manchester United have been also interested in Manolas, Roma Central defender, Costa Manolas, Roma Central defender. Reportedly Manchester United have been interested in him. Reportedly the player has around a third. Sorry guys, it just went off. Reportedly the player has around a 36 million release clause. He's a Roma Central defender. Obviously, Mane Raiola, who represents Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku, I think he has just gone. I think now Mane Raiola represents Costa Manolas. I think he's just recently changed agents as the player. But obviously he plays for Roma, as we all know. He's obviously an ex-Olympiacos and he's an ex-Athens player, you know, actually where the player began his career. But reportedly he's supposed to be an okay central defender. I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you, but I know that Manchester United have been linked with him as well. You know, we've heard the rumours about potentially Douglas Costa, as we all know. Reportedly, you know, Man United, according to the media, were planning to lure the player away in January. When Jose Mourinho left the club, Man United were planning to get Douglas Costa in. I don't see it happening anyway. It said allegedly Man United had put a £54 million bid in for Douglas Costa, but good winger. As I said, you know, he's a good winner. He mainly plays on each flank. I think he has played in attacking midfielder before as well, as the player. You know, his dribbling's good. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. Tenacious. He can put balls into the box as well, and he has got pace, but he hasn't been a potential regular for Juventus this season, of course, because obviously since the Ronaldo arrival, he hasn't been getting that game time that he wants. Douglas Costa, as we all know, I think he's 20 of age is Douglas Costa, so he is highly experienced. He is a very, very good player, Douglas Costa. As I currently said, I think he would dramatically improve us on that width. Would Douglas Costa, to be quite honest with you. But obviously Juventus paid £36 million for him. Well, that was his release clause. That was his release clause, was £36 million, as we all currently know. Juventus obviously signed him permanently for £36 million, because obviously he was on a one-year loan deal last season, where he actually won the domestic double in his first season on his one-year loan move. Douglas Costa, he can score goals as well, he can create chances, as I said, he can put balls into the box. I thought he was good at Bayern Munich. I thought he was good when he was younger in his prime with Shakhtar Donetsk as well. I think he was Shakhtar Donetsk a good 5 years, was the player as well. But, you know, he's supposed to be a very, very good player. Reportedly, Man United had this £54 million bid turned down, according to the Italian press. But he's been another potential player that Manchester United have been interested in. Other reports coming out from a couple of days ago that I've been reading, that Man United were potentially interested in Joshua King as well, the Bournemouth centre forward. Obviously, Solskjaer knows of him, because Solskjaer obviously used to work with him, you know, Joshua King, when he was rising up the ranks, as we all currently know, when he was rising up the ranks. And potentially, you know, he began his career with Manchester United at the age of, he began his career with Manchester United in 2008. We got him actually from Valerenga, as we all currently know. So Solskjaer knows of him, because Solskjaer was working for the reserve team when he was rising up the youth system. I think he only had one full appearance in the first team, did the play. Then he went out to quite a few teams on loan, you know, potentially now he's been at Bournemouth since 2015, and his performances for Bournemouth have been very, very good. Reportedly, his finishing aspect is supposed to be very, very good. As I currently said, he's supposed to be a well-proven goal scorer with Bournemouth, and he's done well with Bournemouth, reportedly rated at around 25 million, reportedly. But as I said, you know, I think we do need an actual, you know, striker, because potentially Lukaku for me is not good enough for United. Sanchez hasn't been delivering the goods when he's been fully fit. So potentially, yeah, Solskjaer's got a few players on his radar, and as I said, Solskjaer's the right man for Manchester United, because obviously he knows some of the players, obviously, from when he was manager in the reserve team, you know. But the ones that he didn't know, obviously he's going to get to know them and know them more as more games go on, as we all know. But he is happy here, as we all currently know. There's still some players at Manchester United who I don't think have a future. You know, as I said, Romelu Lukaku, I don't think he's got a future. I don't think Fellaini's got a future. I don't think Darmian's got a future. I think a few Italian clubs have been interested in Darmian. Obviously, he's played in Italy in the past as Matteo Darmian, as we all know. Also coming to an end of his contract as well. I think I was saying Manu Matic doesn't have a future at Manchester United, but to be fair to Matic, I know he's very, very slow. He doesn't have any tempo to his play, but he can pass the ball. But he's like Fellaini, isn't he? Fellaini's too slow. He can pass the ball, but he's too slow. He doesn't have any pace about his game. So he has to adapt to areas of his game as Fellaini. Matic has to adapt to areas of his game as well. But they are two slow players. But to be quite fair to Matic, you know, he's done very, very well in these two games. You know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's performed well. You know, he's pulled the strings off well in the midfield. Obviously scored today as well against Huddersfield, and I think he actually, you know, could become more consistent under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, to be quite fair, because his performances since he's come to Manchester United haven't been that good, as we all currently know. But I think he's been very, very good in these two games under Solskjaer. Pogba's definitely been more consistent, as we all know. I think Pogba will stay. Obviously, I said, Juventus wanted to try and get him back to Juventus, as we all currently know. I said he hasn't really proven himself in English football, as I did say, but that was obviously under Jose Mourinho, where, I wasn't obviously confident, in regards to Paul Pogba then, but I think now, I want us to keep Paul Pogba. He cost us £89 million. But I think he can be a potential world-class player, and he's proven it in these 2 games as Paul Pogba, as we all currently know. So I think he'll stay at Manchester United, of course. He's like 2 players in one in that midfield, when he's at his potential best. But you can see how imbalanced our midfield is, without Paul Pogba there. But he makes the all difference if he's in the midfield or if he's in a free attacking role, Very, very good player. Got a lot of potential, as we all know, as Paul Pogba. But Lukaku, as I said, he hasn't had chance yet to prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's been on compassionate leave. We know he's a big game bottler. His first touch, does concern me as well. And it concerns a lot of people, his first touch, and he's too slow. As we all say, we don't know how he fits in the team. He's slow, Lukaku, just like Matic is slow, just like Fellaini's slow, as we all know. So I don't see how he fits in the team, Romelu Lukaku. We know he scored 27 goals in his first season. We paid £75 million plus 15 million add-ons for the player as well. Lukaku may get a chance to prove himself, against Bournemouth, because I think he will be making a return against Bournemouth. Whether whether Solskjaer starts him or not, I do not know. He scored 45 goals for Belgium, and he's proven in the Premier League. But Lukaku's too slow. He hasn't been scoring goals this season. He's been out of form, and he was injured early on in the season as well as Romelu Lukaku. But potentially he may get a chance to try and prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if he isn't being consistent, then Solskjaer may think about sanctioning him off, as we all currently know. But he doesn't. I just don't see how he fits in our attacking line. You've got Martial there, who's got great pace that can press high up the pitch. You've got Lingard with great pace that can press high up the pitch and cause problems. And create chances. So too Marcus Rashford. Even Sanchez has got pace about him, even though he hasn't developed himself at Manchester United, as we all know. But Lukaku hasn't got any pace. He has proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the Premier League. But as I said, Solskjaer could improve him if he does get given the chance, when he does come back. And I think he's going to make a return for Bournemouth, because we know the player has been on compassionate leave. We know reportedly Juventus have been interested in Romelu Lukaku. The reports have been coming out saying that Juventus have seen him as a long-term replacement for Mandzukic. I think he said during one of the international breaks, Romelu Lukaku, that potentially Lukaku actually, I think he did say Lukaku that he did want to join Italy. As we currently know, obviously, Raiola represents him, but he did say this during one of the international breaks. Lukaku wants to join Italy, but he keeps being linked with a move to Italy, does Romelu Lukaku, as we all know. But he did say in the press the other day that Juventus were actually interested in him within a few media outlets, as we all know. But he was the top scorer for Belgium in 2009-2010, as we all know. So he has got a pretty good, decent pedigree in the Premier League. He was good in his first season with United. But as we said, as long as he was putting the ball in the back of the net whilst he's adapting other areas of his game, as we all know. There's so much better strikers out there than Romelu Lukaku, as we all know. And maybe Sanchez may leave as well, but obviously Sanchez is out of action until January, so maybe he may get the chance, Alexis Sanchez, to try and prove himself under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he has been in regular contact with Fergie Solskjaer. He's been discussing his managerial style at the club. I think he suits the his managerial style at the club. For me, is absolutely fantastic. As I said, his style of play is absolutely phenomenal as well. His tactics are right, his lineups are right. And it's good to say that he's going to rotate. He's going to give everybody the chance, as we all know. So at the moment, we are on fire with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because the confidence back in the team, the spirit's in the team, the passion's in the team. They're getting bodies in the box. We're creating chances. We're now scoring goals. That's 8 in 2 games, as we all currently know. And the team's full of confidence, as we currently know. A lot of tenacity about the play. The football's very, very interesting to watch, as I said. And there's that attacking flair, as I said, as we saw under Alex Ferguson, because Ferguson had great, great players. He was also known for developing young players and turning them into world-class players, as we all know. We were the boss in the transfer markets under Alex Ferguson, but since then we haven't really been bossing the transfer markets. We haven't been getting his main priority targets, as we didn't get them under Jose Mourinho. We wasn't getting his main priority targets. We wanted, we've seen players come in, we've seen players leave. as we all currently know. But I think Solskjaer is keen on bolstering the squad a bit more in the January transfer window, as I said. But yeah, we could still see a few players leaving. Sanchez may get a chance to try and develop himself under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he does recover from his injury. So potentially more transfer rumours now. I'm going to update you on. I'm going to give you a bit of update on Chelsea's transfer rumours. Reportedly, according to the press, that reportedly Real Madrid are reportedly willing to offer two of their players to try and get Eden Hazard, because obviously we know that Real Madrid have actually been linked with Chelsea's Eden Hazard. Obviously, as I said at the beginning of the video, he has now scored over 100 goals for Chelsea. I think he's the 10th player for Chelsea to score 100 goals for Chelsea. I think that's in all competitions, or is that in the Premier League? I'm not too sure, but he said on Sky Sports now he scored 100 goals. Chelsea well 101 because he scored both the goals in the game. I did watch bits of the game, but reportedly Chelsea could see a couple of their players leave. Reportedly Real Madrid are willing to offer two of their players to try and get Eden Hazard. There's been no signs of him yet signing a new contract with Chelsea. Eden Hazard. Chelsea have been in discussions of trying to sign him a new deal. Chelsea know how much of an essential player he is. You know, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He's finishing superb. He scores loads and loads of goals for Chelsea, so he's a prolific goal scorer. You know, he's got a lot of intensity about him. He's got great potential, as we all currently know. But it has been Real Madrid out of the team that have been potentially interested in Eden Hazard, as we all know. So reportedly, Real Madrid are willing to offer two of their players. This is Mateo Kovacic, which is obviously at Chelsea now, on loan from Real Madrid, and Isco as part of Real Madrid's plans to get Eden Hazard. So reportedly Real Madrid, according to the Metro and a few other reports, Real Madrid are willing to offer two of their players, as we all know. But potentially, Mateo Kovacic is at Chelsea on loan. As I currently said, Chelsea got him on loan from Real Madrid, as we all know. But obviously, if Chelsea were to go along with this, they'd get him on a permanent deal. Of course, I wonder if Kovacic is actually keen on signing a permanent deal with Chelsea. Kovacic can play as an attacking mid. He can also play as a central mid. He can also play as a deep mid. He can also play out in wide positions as well. So reportedly his versatility is very, very good. I think he's age 24. He began his career with Dynamo Zagreb, did he? Something like that. Dynamo Zagreb, I think he was up the ranks of them. He won 2 titles with them. He obviously went to Inter Milan for a couple of seasons, then went to Real Madrid. He won 3 Champions Leagues in that with Real Madrid, as we all know, and won over honours. And now he's potentially, and he's Croatian, is this player, and potentially now he's currently at Chelsea on loan. So potentially Real Madrid have basically made it clear that they're willing to offer Kovacic, I can't pronounce his name all the time, Kovacic and Isco as part of the deal. We know Isco, he's expressed a few interest from a few Premier League teams. Reportedly Manchester City have been interested in him. Reportedly City have been interested in him. Reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him as well as an exchange of Mesut Ozil. There has been talks about that in the last couple of days in the media as well. So potentially, reportedly, as I said about Isco, very, very good dynamic midfielder, strong, quick, good, very, very good in the air, but he feels out of favour at Real Madrid under Santiago Solari. Isco, but he's a great midfielder. As I said, I think he's got a 600 odd million release clause, in his contract. I think he's under contract with with Real Madrid until 2022. Is the player. I think he has been at Real Madrid now since like 2013. I think he's won like 4 Champions Leagues or something now with Real Madrid as the player. Very, very good player. As I said, he is Spanish. He used to work under Manuel Pellegrini. As we all know, he used to be at Malaga. He actually risen up the ranks with Valencia. He obviously played in the Valencia reserve team, when he was younger in his prime, as I said. But Isco's a very, very good midfielder. As we all know, he can be deployed as a winger as well. But mainly is an attacking midfielder. Is Isco, as we all currently know. But reportedly he's out of favour under Santiago Solari, so he's never played in the Premier League, but I think he's a very, very good midfielder, very, very good attacking midfielder, very dynamic, good passer of the ball as well. Good passer of the ball as well. So it's reportedly come out in the press that's saying like Real Madrid are willing to offer Isco and Kovacic as part of Real Madrid getting the pursuit of Eden Hazard. But Eden Hazard's proven in the Premier League. He's been at Chelsea since 2012. He's won a lot of individual awards. He's won a lot of quite a lot of honors with Chelsea. You know, he won a few honors. You know, during his younger in his prime. You know, when he was with Lille. So he has played. You know, he's highly experienced in France as well. He's had experience of playing in France with Lille as well as Eden Hazard. You know, he was at Lille about 8 years. Raised up the youth system, grown, developed fantastically well, and obviously now he's at Chelsea, and he's done very, very well for Chelsea. And Chelsea know how much of a lethal player he is to them. He makes a really, really big impact. He scores goals. He leads the lines fantastically well. His work rate's good. The effort he puts in, he reads his game very, very well. As we all currently know. So there has been talks of that going on in the press today, of Real Madrid willing to offer Kovacic and Isco as part of them getting Eden Hazard. But we know that there's also been talks of potentially another swap deal of Higuain and Alvaro Morata. So that's been potentially being discussed in the last couple of days in the media as well, about potentially Chelsea have held negotiations with AC Milan and Juventus about this. And reportedly Chelsea and AC Milan are looking to come to an agreement of, I think it's a loan exchange anyway, of Gonzalo Higuain going to Chelsea and Morata going to AC Milan. So reportedly that could be agreed in this upcoming January transfer window. Morata future, I think it's going to come to an end his career with Chelsea. He's only been at Chelsea since 2017. You know, Chelsea paid obviously £60 million for him, as we all currently know. But he's obviously he spent most of his playing career, you know, in Spain with Real Madrid. As we all know, won honours. He had 2-year spell, you know, with Juventus for 2 years, for a couple of years as well. Did Alvaro Morata, but he hasn't really proven himself with Chelsea. He's obviously no longer Sarri's first choice, as we all currently know. So he is falling down the pecking order with Chelsea. So I think from the player's perspective, you know, he's keen on the move to AC Milan, is Alvaro Morata, but Chelsea obviously demanding they want Gonzalo Higuain as part of the exchange. I think it's going to be a loan exchange, but obviously have the option to permanently buy him, as we all know. But Gonzalo Higuain, he's 31 years of age, Gonzalo Higuain. As we all know, hasn't really proven himself with AC Milan. As we all know, he's on loan. AC Milan had to pay a fee of around 17 million pounds to get him on a loan deal. As we all currently know, Gonzalo Higuain, but proven to be a prolific goal scorer. You know, every team he's played for, you know, he's proven to be a prolific goal scorer, good at leading the lines, good finishing asset, as we all know, very, very clinical, and he's proven himself very, very well. And obviously, Sarri, the Chelsea manager, has obviously worked with him in the past, because obviously when Sarri was at Napoli, managed Napoli, and obviously when at that time he was managing Napoli, Sarri, Gonzalo Higuain was playing for Napoli, as we all know. But very, very, you know, all in all, very, very good player. But he's like 31 years of age, so he's actually out of his prime now. He's Gonzalo Higuain. Obviously won quite a lot of silverware, scored a lot of goals. You know, he began his career with a Plate. You know, when he was younger in his prime, he had 6 good years with Real Madrid. He scored over a century goals for Real Madrid in like 190 odd appearances or something like that. You know, he won titles with them. You know, when he was at Napoli, he had a good 3-year, you know, playing tenure with Napoli. He scored 36 goals in one of the seasons as well. You know, and we Juventus, he was a key player for Juventus, because he was there for a couple of years, won the domestic double. You know, in his first 2 seasons with Juventus, as we all currently know, was one of the key players that got them to the 2017 Champions League final as well. But yeah, very, very good player. As I said, you know, Chelsea would probably think he'd be very, very good in their attack. But I think Chelsea still need a potential attacker, as we all currently know, because Morata isn't delivering the goods. Morata's obviously falling down the pecking order now, so Morata wants out. So there's been talks of Morata and Gonzalo Higuain as a potential swap deal. And, you know, Juventus paid £89 million for Gonzalo Higuain, and he's South American as well, is the player. So there has been talks about that as well. So there's a lot of rumours now going on in the press, you know, he's linked with what clubs and blah, blah, blah. You know, we'll be coming on tomorrow, giving you more updates and more transfer rumours that are going on. As I said, you know, we're going to give you a bit of an update on Liverpool's. We'll do Liverpool's tomorrow. Give you a bit of an update on Arsenal's as well. So yeah, I always enjoy, you know, talking to you guys on this channel. As I said, I've already updated you on the Christian Pulisic situation, that Chelsea and Liverpool are linked with him. As I said, Liverpool linked with Timo Werner as well. Liverpool linked with Thorgan Hazard as well, reportedly. So you know, I'll give you a more update on that tomorrow. As I said, because more things update in the press, you know, all the time. As I said. But yeah, as I said, good result for Manchester United today. Reportedly, as I said, the bookies are favouring Manchester United to go on and sign Koulibaly in the January transfer window. Reportedly, it will cost it a staggering £90 million to Manchester United get him, but you know it'd be worth every penny. Good defender, would lead the lines fantastically well at the back, as we all know. He adapts every area of his game very, very well. Has very little weaknesses. I don't think he has any weaknesses. He's got a good pedigree of playing in Europe. Good pedigree when Napoli. He's done very, very well in Italy. And he's 27 years of age. So if he did come to the Premier League, he'd be playing amongst different players. I think he'd do well at Manchester United if he came, and I think he'd complement our defensive line fantastically well. And I think he'd be a good leader in our defensive line with Koulibaly. But it did confirm that the Napoli president had actually confirmed that they don't want to actually sanction him off in the January transfer window. But he has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all know. But as I said, it's good to see, that the confidence is back in the team now at Manchester United. It's very, very good to see, indeed. So there's a bit of transfer rumours to update you on. As I said, Manchester United play Bournemouth at Old Trafford on the 30th of December. We'll be doing the preview for that either tomorrow or on the 28th of December, as we always do on this channel. But potentially, yeah, Lukaku should be returning. I'm not too sure what's going on with Marcus Rojo. I think he's still injured. Not too sure what's going on with Smalling. Solskjaer's also confirmed that, as I said, Mason Greenwood will be making his senior debut. Mason Greenwood will be making his senior debut in the FA Cup against Reading in the new year. And his performances have been very, very good for the reserve team, as we all know. It was good to see Solskjaer, bring Angel Gomez on today as well. So he is giving the youth a chance. He's only going to Solskjaer, which is very, very good to see. But as I said, hopefully we can keep these performances up. Top four is still alive, as we all know. Because still the second half of the season to go, yeah, and I think we are going to have a good second half of the season, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. But yeah. You can tell everything's changed at Manchester United. The fans are a lot happier. The players are playing with confidence. Playing with passion, scoring goals, players putting good performances out. Which is very, very good to see. As I currently said, the momentum's back in the team. The team's motivated now, well organised, very energetic. As we all know, and that's very, very good to see. As we all currently know. So potentially it was a good performance today. I think we had a bit of a slow start to the game. We had a bit of a slow start to the second half. But apart from that, it was very, very good performance indeed. But Fred gets more game time, he'll grow and develop. And he'll get playing to his potential level eventually. Because he hasn't really had a chance to prove himself this season. Because he hasn't had the game time. Andres Pereira really hasn't had a chance to prove himself, as we all know. But as I said, he will get the game time under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because he's already confirmed this, as we all currently know in the process. So drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again on my next video. Bye.